Welcome back to The Quest, where we're reaching the business end of the season, and things are anything but simple at Moyola Park. Right, let's start with some admin then. The board are pretty pleased with the job that we'll be doing. You can see from the top of the screen we are second in the league. We'll show you that in a moment, but there's plenty of other news to bring you. We've just finished the transfer window. Goodness me, that was a breathless and nerve-wracking little affair. But we've also just completed our first coaching qualification. So we've gained the National C licence. That's going to give us a little bit of a boost to our managerial attributes. Lots of those that were 1s are now up to 2s. Level of discipline is even up to 4 now. And we've got some good attacking and defending coaching, considering we've only been a manager for, 4 months? Maybe 5 months now. But what we're also going to do, whilst we're riding the crest of a wave of good form and managerial support from the board, let's jump straight in there and see whether we can go back to back on the coaching qualifications. This club's making money. We're only spending £80, well, £72 per week to be precise, on wages and bonuses for the players. So it should be a relatively straightforward ask, I think, for us to be able to do the next coaching badge. Let's see what they say. We're going to do 2 games in today's episode, so hopefully between today's fixture and the second one that we're going to bring you, we might have some news on that. Let's show you the league table while we're here. Things have been going pretty decently in the league. We find ourselves in the, perhaps not a title race. I think it's still a little early to confirm that, although there are only, 26 games in this season? But we are up there in contention. We've only lost 4 games all season, so we're doing quite nicely. We're only a point behind Warren Point, who've had a pretty decent transfer window. They've managed to sign a player that we were chasing, so they've strengthened. You can see from the top goal scorers here, our front 2 of Mark Kelly and Bobby Mack have been in rude form. Bobby Mack, by the way, has now jumped into Northern Ireland's under-18 squad, so he's capped at under-18 level. That's quite a coup for a club in the Northern Irish 3rd tier, I think. But all of the news recently has been to do with transfers. The window opened and people started trying to poach all of our non-contract players, and one of the ones that got away is an absolute disaster, I'm afraid. Our goalkeeper, Andy Finlay, an offer came in from Ballymacash. We tried to offer him a contract ourselves. We could only offer him an amateur deal or a non-contract deal with a £20 per appearance bonus fee. You can't blame the boy. He's gone for 50 quid a week. The riches of Ballymacash have lured him in. This is an incredibly good keeper for a 3rd division level. We've lost him. So we panicked, especially when some bids started coming in for our other players, including our backup goalkeeper, Oisin Gibson. So when we lost Finlay, Gibson went straight into the first team, and then somebody came in and made an offer for him as well. So it was panic stations. So we started making loan offers for anybody that the scouts could find, and we've bought a few in. We have lost another player, Jack Kinner. He's gone and joined Newington. But some of our other boys, like left-back Jackie Graham, he turned down an offer when he could have moved. Jakey McNeil turned down an offer when he could have moved. So some stayed, but we have lost a couple. So we've tried to prop the squad up with some loan signings. First of all, let's show you a player who we already had a deal agreed with, but has now joined since the January transfer window opened. This is Noeem Adekunle. The strength, by Moyola Park standards, is not that bad at a 6. Physically, he's pretty good. The determination is a little low, I won't lie to you, but he can pass a ball. He's got good vision, and he's sitting in the centre of the park as our box-to-box midfielder, doing a decent job so far. And then, then we've got the loan signings. Don't expect too much. A lot of these are very young players just making their way in the game. Timmy Martin has come in and established himself as our new number 1. When that offer came in for Oisin Gibson, it looked like, that loan keeper would be our only goalkeeper at the club because the scouts hadn't found any other keepers for me to bid on. Fortunately, Gibson stayed, so the 2 of them can tussle it out. You can see he's only got a 1-star rating from our coaches. He's certainly not as good as Finlay, who's left the club, but at least he has a pair of gloves. On deadline day, we bought in Orin McLaughlin, a a defensive midfielder or a right back who's going to give us some depth. He's very fit, he's determined, which is rare in the Northern Irish 3rd Division, and he can tackle as well. We've brought in a couple of wingers so that we can rotate a little bit more. Alexander Machado is a Portuguese player on loan from Institute. Quick, not great balance for a winger, but the crossing and dribbling are reasonable. And over on the other flank, we've brought in Tiernan McKinney. Very quick this time. Strength is very disappointing, but he is a good crosser of the football and has some flair as well. So he's a useful little rotation option. So the squad as a whole, I think, has got a little bit more depth to it. But losing our goalkeeper was far, far from ideal. And we have been shipping a lot of goals since he left. So we'll show you the form. In our last episode, we were bringing you back-to-back 1-1 draws against Warren Point and Banbridge. We've done really well since then. We got a 3-1 win against Rathfrilland and a 6-3 victory against Queen's University. But you can see where our goalie left us because we conceded 3 against Queen's. We conceded another 3 against Armagh. We then lost to Dollingstown in the league before scoring 5 but conceding another 2 against Tobermory. So the goals have been flying in for the opposition, but with Bobby Mack and Kelly up front, we've just been able to outgun teams. I think the result of the season, though, without question, was this 2-2 draw with Glentoran in the Cup. We won on penalties, and you can see from the match stats, we deserved to win this game, never mind get a draw against one of the most successful clubs in Northern Irish football. We hit the woodwork in this game. I think it was 4 times in the end. Is there a way of actually confirming that? Let's get on the woodwork there. 4 times, and they didn't hit it at all. Now, that does mean that we were a little bit wasteful in front of goal, granted, but we had 25 shots against a top-flight side, 12 of them on target. We really worked their keeper. We probably should have won this game in normal time. As it was, we had to actually come from behind. McElveen scored an absolute beauty of a corner routine goal deep in stoppage time. It was like, was it Sheringham to Solskjaer, or was it Giggs to Sheringham, the way they used to work that corner at Man United? It flew into the side netting. Our fans couldn't believe we'd snatched a draw and a penalty shootout against Glentoran. So we make progress in the Irish Cup, the second round of which we're going to bring you against Port Stewart in our second game today. And we're also making progress in something called the Intermediate Cup, where we only ever seem to play teams that are from the non-leagues of Northern Irish football, but we're making progress through it. I think we've been through about 48 rounds of that already. We've still only just got through the 3rd round stage, and we're going to be playing Newington in the 4th round of that. But for today's game, we're going to be taking on Ballymacash Rangers first. They are currently 10th in the league, so they're not pulling up any trees. And Port Stewart, who we're going to be facing in the Cup, they're in the same division as us. I think they're currently sitting 8th. So they are 2 games that we should be, well, maybe they're not winnable, but we should at least be in contention with both of them. Here's some good news, though. They've agreed for us to push on and gain our National B licence. So by hook or by crook, by the time we are leaving Moyola Park, we will have studied for 2 licences at least. That could get us up to being a 1-star manager with or without promotion. So that is certainly encouraging. Right, we're reaching game day. Let's get out there. Ballymacash are the opponents. We need a win in order to keep our promotion push going. This is going to be a difficult game, I think. We're going to be in the yellow today. We're in our away kits. Let's see what Ballymacash get in terms of attendances. Yeah, about the same as what we're getting, but they've come forward very early. And they've slung the ball into the box, and Davidson heads it against the bar. There's an early little warning shot. We are going to, if we can control the mouse, throw out a little encouraged shout fairly early. Try and rally the boys. 3 shots to the opponent, nothing for us. Been a very quiet 20 minutes. 4 shots for the opponents, nothing for us. We're having one of those games where we're not really looking very threatening. 6 shots for Ballymacash now. They've not worked our goalkeeper. Probably a good job considering how many he's let in during his first few appearances for the club. We've at least got a couple of shots now, one of them on target. And if we could win this and Martin goes down and claims it, maybe we can build up from the back and try and create our first positive highlight of the game. Here's Frame into the midfield where McNeil gives it away. And it turns out they are going to have another chance. It cracks against the woodwork. Martin was absolutely stranded. Fortunately, Frame heads it back to him and he gets to his feet in time. That was clumsy defending. Here's Mark Kelly. Graham sends it in. Ambrose is a 6'4" right winger. He rises like the proverbial moose at the far post, thumps a header down into the ground. It bounces over the line to give us a 1-0 lead in a game where we've looked second best. Some charitable goalkeeping there from their player dressed in a lovely shade of lime. God bless him for coming flying out for that when he wasn't going to get anywhere near it. Adekunle gives the ball away in the midfield. Now their striker goes close. I'm going to say this is another game where we are ahead at the break and we don't deserve to be. But we are going to take the charity of the opposition. What do we do team talk wise? I'm going to try and keep it positive. Even though inside, I wouldn't say I'm seething, but I'm at least simmering about that first half performance. I don't think we've seen a great YouTube performance from Bobby Mack yet. He saves all of his best work for when he's off camera. It's a little bit shy, Bobby Mack. He's on a 6.3. And after this highlight, I think we're going to ring the changes and maybe bring these lone wingers on to see what kind of impact they can make on the game. Are we still going to be ahead at that time? We could be because Bobby Mack's coming forward. He sent one whistling over the top of the bar. It shaves the netting. Now let's see what changes we can make. Ambrose is actually playing well. Maybe we should keep him on. Brennan is doing okay, but we'll rest him. And we'll bring on Machado, who is left-footed but prefers to play on the right. But he'll be absolutely fine as a left winger. It's those midfield too that are concerning me a little bit. So let's get Oren McLaughlin on. We'll take Jakey McNeil off. We're going to give Bobby Mack another 10 minutes. Otherwise, his dance card is going to get marked for the evening. And we're going to hoik him off as well. Here come Ballymacash. They're in our box. This is going in, isn't it? Joshua Key. That was another clumsy bit of defending. We had the opportunity to clear the ball. And we blasted it either into one of our teammates' faces. Yeah. Into our own teammate's face there. The ball was cannoning around. And now we've got work to do again. Bobby Mack's got 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'm putting his number up and hooking him off. Machado's in. There is Bobby Mack. He's only about 4'2" tall. He was never going to get on that. But Ambrose, he's looked lively this afternoon. He's had another little effort. We're getting to 69. We're getting to 70. Bobby Mack has done nothing. Let's get Caleb Wan on in his place. He's quick. He can finish. He's a little bit weak. We're also going to demand more of the players, see if we can find a winner. The last 2 games we showed you in the last episode finished 1-1. We could be off for another 1-1 as well, but here's Wan. Good, tidy little bit of hold-up play. Gets the ball out to Graham and then Machado. They work something down the wings. Now we've gone long. Kelly, look at the size of him compared to the others, and we're in. It's Ambrose. He spurned it. That was the chance. That was the chance to retake the lead. As it is, God, we might be settling for a draw in this game or worse. We've got another highlight. Ambrose to McLaughlin. They've worked it between the two. Machado. Oh, the Portuguese man of war on the left flank. Ghosts in. Liam Neeson is motionless in goal. We've got to win. I don't think we were that impressive that game. We'll say nice work, everyone. We're also looking for the Warren points score to see if they were in action today. I think they've dropped points because we've gone top of the table. They have indeed. God bless Distillery. A 2-0 victory for them. We're top of the table going into an Irish Cup game against Port Stewart. Things are looking all right. So the day before our cup tie, the rest of the teams played at the weekend. Our fixture, for some reason, has been delayed until the Tuesday. They've drawn the quarter-final stages already, and we've gone into the hat. And if we beat Port Stewart, we're going to be up against top-flight Ballymena United. There are a few clubs from the lower divisions that have made it to the quarter-final stage of the cup. There's only Crusaders, Cliftonville and Ballymena that I think are from the top flight. So we could, potentially, if we win today, get to a quarter-final, possibly even a semi-final of the Irish Cup, which would be way beyond expectations. We're going to be in our yellow kits again, even though we're the home side. Go figure. And we're against a Portstewart side who I think are from the north coast. I think it's golf country up there, isn't it? By Royal Portrush Golf Club. We've had 2 shots early, 2 on target. We're looking to see a bit more of an impressive display from our players than we have done in the previous couple of games that we've bought you. 3 shots now, 3 on target. Nothing for Portstewart, but no highlights of note for us. Machado's on a 6.8, which is good. Mark Kelly was motivated for this game. He's on a 6.4. Not quite so good. I'm a bit concerned that we've had 4 shots, all of them on target. None of them warranted a highlight, and they've left us with an XG of just 0.31 at half time. Yeah. Ambrose is on the ball. He's been booked. He's given a soft pass to Adekunle. We've won it back in the midfield. And here's Bobby Mack. Now he's lively. What's he got up his sleeve? He's into the box. He's in. He shakes those hips. He fires it into the bottom corner. Goodness me. He gave it the old Bobby Mack shuffle in the box. Look at this. Snake hips. Little 1-2 with Ambrose. Oh, he shakes, he bakes, he fades. Onto his left foot, bottom corner of the net. Bobby Mack to the rescue. We just need to grab a second goal because we're looking shaky at the back. Since we lost our goalkeeper, I think he did a lot of the organising. I don't know whether he had good communication or maybe command of area. He was better at claiming balls. He was certainly better at shot stopping. He kept us pretty secure back there, and we've looked very, very fragile at the back ever since. Is that offside? Don't think it is. Bobby Mack bags his 20th goal of the season. Now we're seeing the best of Bobby Mack on camera. That sounds like a Motown album, the best of Bobby Mack, but you're seeing it live. The little 5'6" live wire fires another one into the net. And now we've got that second goal that gives us that bit of a cushion. We've won it again in the midfield. Wan's got the ball out to Brennan. Wan's looked good in the 2 sub appearances he's made, by the way. And he's in. And he's got a goal for the club. Caleb Wan. I probably should have been giving him a little bit more game time off the bench than I was earlier on in the season. He kind of escaped my notice, but he's quick and he can finish. And in the Northern Irish third tier, that is enough to get you goals. Let me assure you. And now we're 3-0 up. And we're looking comfortable. Evans back to Boyle. They're playing it long every time and we're mopping it up. And here's Jackie Graham into the midfield. McElveen, who we probably should take off because he's still recovering from his injury. We'll do that after this play. Bobby Mack tries to search out McKinney on the right wing. It breaks down, but here he is again and he's fed Wan. 4-0. 2 goals apiece for both of our strikers. Going very well. Jakey McNeil's coming on for McElveen. I feel like you're finally seeing us at our attacking best in this game. We're winning the ball back pretty comfortably every time Portstewart launch it forward. We're getting these stinging little moves going that are finishing with our strikers showing their ruthlessness. There's Wan, gets to the edge of the box. You're not going to save that in the Irish 3rd Division. And Wan's got 2 off the bench. And from looking shaky at 1-0, we're now looking home and hosed at 4. Hungry for a 5th. Big McKim, the centre-half, is inexplicably on the corners. He's sent through a good one. Jakey McNeil's now joining the action. 3 of our 5 goals have come from substitutes. The other 2 from the great Bobby Mack. 5-0 in the cup. And if Ballymena have got scouts at this game, they're going to be scribbling right now. It's time to sharpen the pencil. The XG's looking good now. The shots and shots on target is looking good. Not a huge amount of possession in that game, but we counter-attacked with aplomb. And let's keep the morale up by telling them that was nice work. And we've breezed into the quarterfinals of the Northern Irish Cup to take on Ballymena United. I think the games that we're going to come back for now are going to be the final couple of the season, Banbridge and Rathfrilland, unless, of course, there is a cup semi-final, which I think would be a long shot. Beating a second top flight team in the competition, I think would be difficult, but we're currently top of the table on goal difference. We've got a game in hand on Armagh and Warren point. When we come back for those final games of the season, you never know. If I haven't blown it, that is a big if. We could be gunning for the title in our first season of the Quest.